mi sospecha. Porque I speak mejor English que Spanish. Porque mis padres...
Because my parents don't believe me.
No como tripa. Porque no como lengua.
Because I won't eat tongue.
I went to see el curandero. I told him about my therapist and about the numbness in my body, and el curandero said, he tried to steal your soul. El curandero said, your head aches because your left shoe is too tight. As I passed out, el curandero said, the border is... Mi Toronto querido, here we are. But where, oh, where is here? The border is... The border is what? Mi nombre es Facundo Morales Segundo. También me dicen el alacrán. Y si me encuentro con un caimán, ustedes saben lo que pasa. My name is Facundo Morales Segundo. Some of you may know me as the Barrio Tiger. I am the illegitimate son of Tupac Amaru, Pancho Villa, Doña Flor, Pedro Navaja, Sor Juana, and Speedy Gonzalez. Hey, guys. Now, when I first got here, people would say to me, sorry, what's the name? Facundo. No, man, Facundo, Facundo, Facundo. Wow, they would say to me, that's a new one. Mind if I call you Fac? No, man, mind if I call you shithead? So, you know, I had to come up with a more saxonical name. And I looked around for a long time till I found one I liked, and when I found the one I wanted, I took it. I stole it, actually. I go by the name Wide Load McKenna now. And I get a lot more respect, ese. I live in the border. That's in Parkdale for you people if you happen to be from out of town. Yeah, man. I live in the zone, in the barrio, and I gotta move, cause it's a bad neighborhood. Like, this neighborhood is going to the dogs. Because there's a lot of yuppies moving in and renovating and making all kinds of noise and staying up all night comparing stained glass. So I gotta move. But first I gotta make some money. So I want to cash in on the Latino boom. Yeah. There's a Latino boom on right now. We are a very hot commodity. What I want to do is get like a big chunk of toxic wasteland up on the Highway 400 and make like a third world theme park. You know, you drive up to like big barbed wire gates with guards carrying submachine guns, and you park your car
and a broken down Mercedes-Benz bus comes along and takes you in, under guard, of course. And you can buy, like, for 75 bucks, an International Monetary Fund credit card that gets you on all the rides. You know, and as soon as you're inside, you know, like, you have to bribe everybody to get anything done, even, like, just to go to the washroom. And maybe we'll have, like, a disappearing rainforest section that you can actually wander through and search for rare plants, you know, and maybe find the cure to cancer, or maybe find Sean Connery. And like, you rent a little golf cart to drive through it, right? And the golf cart is always breaking down, and you have to fix it yourself. And while you're fixing it there in the sweltering noonday sun, a drug lord comes along on his hydrofoil and offers to take you to his villa, where you can have lunch and watch a multimedia presentation on drug processing. I mean, I figure it would do great. I mean, you people love that kind of shit. And I will be able to undercut those travel agents that are selling package tours of Brazilian slums. I mean, this will be way cheaper, safer, and it would generate a lot of jobs. And I would make some money and be able to move out of the barrio and get a nice little house somewhere like Forest Hill. Nice neighborhood, quiet. It's a good place to bring up, like, 15 kids. Forest Hill. Man, I love Forest Hill. You got professionals, you got families, you got professional families. Yeah, man, we could be neighbors. Would you like that? Sure. I am moving in next door to you, and I am gonna, like, wash my Mustang every day and overhaul the engine and get some grease on your part of the sidewalk. And some friends, like about 12, are gonna come and stay with me for a few years. Do you like music? Good. Yeah, how about a Chicano for a neighbor? Liven up the neighborhood. Technically, I don't qualify as a Chicano. I wasn't born in East LA. I wasn't born in the Southwest USA. I wasn't even born in Mexico. Does this make me Hispanic? These terms, Hispanic, Latino, you know, they can be misleading, you know, because they lump a whole lot of very different people into one category. Like, there is a world of difference between a Brazilian and a Honduran, between a Bolivian and a New Yorican. That's a Puerto Rican who lives in New York. And then there's Argentinians. I mean, they are practically European. As for me, let's just say that I am a Pachuco.
What do you remember now? El curandero asked. I remember the night San Martín se fue sin despedirse. I remember a gang of boys who wanted to steal my leather jacket, even though we all spoke Spanish. A gang of boys who taught me I could be a long-lost son one minute and a tourist the next. This all starts with Jorge. After I'd been in therapy for a few months, Jorge suggested I go see El Curandero. I wasn't keen on the idea, being both skeptical and afraid of things like witch doctors, but Jorge was persuasive and lent me bus fare enough to get me at least as far as the border. It actually starts before that. It starts in France, Paris, France, the movable feast, the city of light, where I lived for a couple of years. En France, où mes étudiants me disaient que je parlais le français comme une vache catalane. En France, où j'étais étranger, en anglais, en argentin, canadien, en faux touriste. Paris, France, where I lived and worked illegally, where I would produce my transit pass whenever policemen asked me for my papers. In France, where I was undocumented, extra-legal, marginal, and where, for some reason, known perhaps only to Carlos Gardel and Julio Cortázar, I felt almost at home. Or it starts before the city of light, in the city of sludge, Kitchener, Ontario. There, in Kitchener, where I learned to drive, where I first had sex, where there was nothing to do except eat donuts and dream of elsewhere. There in Kitchener, where a stranger once suggested that I go back to my own country. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it starts with Columbus. Maybe it starts with the genius Arab engineer who invented the rudder. Maybe a little history is required to put this all in order. Our history begins approximately 200 million years ago in the Triassic period of the Mesozoic era, when the original supercontinent, Pangaea, broke up and the continents of the Earth assumed the shapes we now recognize. 5000 BC, the first settlements appear in the highlands of Mexico and in the Andes Mountains. 1500 BC, the pyramid at Teotihuacan is built. Early 1400s AD, Joan of Arc is born and shortly thereafter burned. At the same time, the Incas in Peru develop a highly efficient political system. 1492, the Spanish are very busy integrating the Moors. Also in 1492, a chubby chap sails the ocean blue. 1808, Beethoven writes symphonies 5 and 6. Goya paints executions of the citizens of Madrid. 1812, Beethoven writes symphonies 7 and 8, and a war breaks out in North America. 1846, the U.S. attacks Mexico. 1863, France attacks Mexico. 1902, the U.S. acquires control over the Panama Canal, and Beatrix Potter writes Peter Rabbit. 1969, the Montreal Canadiens win the Stanley Cup, and I attend my first day of classes at Anne Hathaway Public School. I am 7 years old. Elise Kramer, Jonathan Nemeth, Jessica Uffelman. My name is next. A century passes as the teacher, Miss Wiseman, forces her mouth into shapes hitherto unknown to the human race as she attempts to pronounce my name. Will you remove Berdigia? I put my hand up. I am a minuscule boy with ungovernable black hair, antennae and gills where everyone else has a mouth. You can call me Willie, I say. The antennae and gills disappear. It could have been here, but I have to stop talking to myself.
Yeah, cállate, man. Shut up already.
Now, when I first got here, I needed a place to stay, and I didn't have a lot of money, so I stayed with a family, the Smiths. Mr. and Mrs. and their 2 kids, Cindy and John. And it was nice, you know, like it was my first contact with an ethnic family. And I got a really good look at the way they live. And they wanted to know all about me, so I told them stories about my mafioso uncle, El Gato, and how he won a tank, and his wife in a poker game, and about my aunt, Luisa La Sonrisa, the opera singer, and about my cousin, Esperanza, about her border crossings and how she almost fell in love.
I told the doctor, I feel different. I feel wrong, out of place. I feel not nowhere, not neither. The doctor said, you're depressed. I said, yes, I am. The doctor said, well, I said I want to be tested. Sample my blood, scan my brain, search my organs, find it. Find what? Whatever it is. And when we find it, get rid of it. They didn't find anything. Everything's absolutely normal, I was told. Everything's fine. Everything is where it should be. I am not fooled. I am a direct descendant of two people who once ate an armadillo. Armadillo has a half-life of 2,000 years. I mean, you can't tell me that's not in my bloodstream. Evita Perón once kissed my mother, and that night she felt her cheek begin to rot. You can't tell me that hasn't altered my DNA. Las tardecitas de Toronto tienen ese, qué sé yo, viste, a perfectly average afternoon, nothing out of place, when who should appear from behind a tree but me?
Oye, you know, I like you Saxons. Like, I always have a very good time whenever we get together. You know, like sometimes I'll be out at a bar with some of my friends from the Saxonian community, and we'll just be hanging around, you know, vacilando, having a few cerveza, and some music will be playing, you know, and like La Bamba will come on, and all the Saxons get all excited and start tapping their toes and doing this thing with their heads, like, and they get this look in their eyes like it's Christmas. And they look at me and they say, hey, Whiteload, La Bamba. Yeah, man, La Puta Bamba. Hey, Whiteload, do you know the words? Do I know the words? Man, do I have an enorme pinga? Of course I know the words. Pala 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 bamba. Ooh. Doesn't know the words. I have to say that I love the way you guys dance. I think you Saxons are some of the most interesting dancers on the planet. I love to go down to the club, you know, and just watch you guys dance because you are so free. Like nothing gets in your way. Not the beat, not the rhythm, nothing. What I especially like to watch is like some Saxon guy who's dancing with a Latin woman. Because, you know, she's out there and she's having a good time, she's smiling, she's doing a little cubop step, you know, and the Saxon guy, he's making like a big effort to keep up. He's trying real hard to move his hips independently of his legs and his ribcage. And he's flapping his arms like a flamenco dancer. Of course, part of the problem is that you guys wear very funny shoes for dancing. I mean like those giant running shoes with built-in air compressors and giant padding and nuclear laces. You might as well try dancing with snowshoes on. Your feet have got to be free so that your knees are free, so that your hips are free, so that you can move your culo with impunity. There they are, dancing away. The Saxon guy and the Latin woman, or the Saxon woman and the Latin guy. And the Saxon, you can see the Saxon is thinking to themselves, wow. He, she can really dance. He, she can really move those hips. He, she keeps smiling. I think he, she likes me. I bet he, she will be really great in bed. Now, there are two things at work here. And the first is that whenever a Saxon and a Latin have sex, it is going to be a mind-expanding and culturally enriching experience.
Porque nosotros sabemos hacer cosas que ni se imaginaron en la Kama Sutra. Porque nosotros tenemos un calor, un sabor, un ritmo, un tumbao de timbales, de conga, de candomble, de quilombo, una onda, un, dos, tres, un, dos. ¿Saben? That's the first factor. And the second component is the exotica factor, the Latin lover fantasy. And I will let you, good people, in on a little secret. Latins are no sexier than Saxons. Well, maybe just a little. But the difference is this. We like it a lot. And we practice a lot. Like we touch every chance we get. Now, I don't want you to get the impression that I am picking on you people. Nothing could be further from my mind. I have the greatest respect for your culture, you know, and every culture has its own fertility dance, its own dance of sexual joy. You people have the Morris dance. And, you know, you go to a Morris dance festival, and it's the Latinos who look silly. Now, you have the Morris dance. Very sexy dance, you know. A bunch of guys dress up like leprechauns with bells on their ankles and hopping around and every once in a while swinging at each other. You have the Morris dance, and we have the mambo, de rumba, de cumbia, de son guajiro, de son changüí, de charanga, de merengue, de samba, de salsa, de tango, de guaguancó, de... Shall I continue?
I am an imposter, a fake. I confuse my tenses in Spanish. I couldn't dance a tango or anything to save my life. I played road hockey and air guitar and still lived in fear of being found out. All sides of the border have claimed and rejected me. On all sides I have been asked, how long have you been? How old were you when did you leave? When did you arrive? As if it were somehow possible to locate on a map, on a blueprint, on an airline schedule, the precise coordinates of the spirit, of the psyche, of memory. As if we could somehow count or measure these things. These things cannot be measured. I know, I tried.
These things cannot be measured. We all tried.
I remember that I dreamt I was playing an accordion, playing something improvised that my grandmother recognized after only 3 notes as a tango from her childhood. Playing a tango I had never learned, playing something improvised, not knowing where my fingers were going, playing an accordion, a tango that left me shaking and sweating. As I passed out, el curandero said, "The border is you." To sleep, to dream. Aye, there's the rub, loco. I dream of Mount Aconcagua, of Iguazu, of Ushuaia and condors, of the Sierras yellow and green, of bay, orange, quebracho and ombu trees, of running, sweating horses, of café con crema, served with little glasses of soda water, of the smell of particulares 30, of the vineyards of Mendoza, of barrels full of ruby red vino tinto, of gardens as beautiful as Andalusia in the spring. I dream of thousands of emerald green parrots flying alongside my airplane. Parrots just like the ones that flew alongside the bus as I traveled in the interior. Here we are.
Easy on the plates. Business is bad enough already. That's enough prep till we get some reservations.
No reservations? Since when is business so bad? It's a tip.
Hello?
It's called a moxie.
Oh, hold on. Christy? Yeah?
A-M-O-X-I-L.
Got it.
Okay, hurry up.
I'm on my way. Don't worry. Jorge, can you cover for me, please?
Sí, tranquilo.
They're your family, too.
You can't tell me how to dress. You're only my brother-in-law.
I don't trust him.
I wish you make an effort. Take her.
Hey, she doesn't look too sick.
Siesta. Dámela, yo voy a ponerle el piano.
¿Qué estás haciendo con mi cartera?
I'll pay you later.
Ay, este muchacho. ¡Rafa! Bendice, Señor, este alimento y provee el alimento a todos los que necesitan.
Gotta go. Bye, Ma. Hey, babe.
What's to become of this family?
That's all I get?
It's not my fault if we went bankrupt.
You stole the money from the till.
What are you talking about?
Te voy a cortar el pescuezo, hueputa.
Put it down.
Es un mentiroso, un ladrón. Pay me.
Pay him what you owe him. Now.
Getting it up to you.
I'm starting the story here because it's both a beginning and an end. The end of my leading role in a medical comedy of errors, and the beginning of a whole new topic.
Now, you may feel quite nauseous when you first wake up in the recovery room. A nurse will be there to attend. When can I go home? All goes well, 5 or 6 days.
Any luck?
Tee off time, 4:33.
Thanks. Pedro Suarez? So, what can I do for you today?
My wife said I should come see you. She thinks there are probably some drugs I can take.
You're the Colombian. What are you asking me for drugs for? I'm just kidding, of course. Listen, Pedro, have you cut out dairy products?
Yes. And I don't even watch the milk commercials on TV anymore.
Really? And you're taking your Metamucil?
3 times a day. There's no room left in my stomach for food.
Fiber, fiber, fiber. That's the ticket, Pedro. Metamucil binds as it softens. And, what about your stools? You still having the same trouble?
What? Yes and no. I mean, you know.
How long has all this stomach trouble been going on?
About 2 years, I guess, since I first came to see you.
Really? I think maybe it's time that you saw a specialist. Nancy is going to set up an appointment for you.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, wait. I got a joke for you. This guy goes in to see his doctor, and he says, "Doctor, my ass is killing me. You got to help me." Doctor looks at him and says, "What's wrong with your ass?"
That was the second time he'd told me that joke, but it was the last time I saw Dr. Barker. Next came Dr. Gilbert, the specialist, the one who told me,
well, the good news is you don't have cancer, Pedro. You have irritable bowel syndrome. Eat a lot of fiber?
How was I to know? My doctors had their heads so far up their asses they couldn't see up mine. My tumor did everything but open a website to make itself known. Yet my doctors knew less about what was going on than the guy who works at my local supermarket.
Have you had a colonoscopy?
I don't know. They did some tests. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm sure you know. I mean, they put a small medical camera up your...
Oh, no. They haven't done that one. And if they do, I don't want to see the photos.
But, I think you should. I mean, podría ser algo en serio.
Well, thanks for the advice. How do you know so much about this? I mean, have you...
I'm a doctor. Well, at least I was in El Salvador.
Claro. Bueno, gracias. Suerte.
Gracias.
Of course, it wasn't all my doctor's fault.
Muy bien. Why don't you take this upstairs and finish up up there? When you're done, vamos a comer. Okay. Just rice for me, please, honey.
So did you call Dr. Gilbert again to book a colonoscopy?
No, not yet.
Why not?
Because I'm tired of talking to strangers about my shit.
Pedro, he's a doctor, not a stranger.
I don't care. It's not anybody's business. It's not even yours.
Pedro, I don't give a shit about your shit. I'm worried about you. Why aren't you more worried? That's what I want to know.
We already know it's not cancer.
Pedro.
Look, I just don't want anybody sticking a camera up my ass, okay?
We are talking about your life. Our life. What if it's something else? Something serious?
Come on, Raman, don't start freaking out.
Somebody has to. What's it going to take for you to start freaking out? You'll collapse on the street tomorrow and wake up in an ambulance? Would that help?
What is cancer?
worry. The biopsy showed it's just a benign cyst. I'll be in and out of there in a couple of days, and then this will all be over.
They said it's the size of a grapefruit.
It's probably full of Metamucil. At least now we know what's wrong with me.
Physically.
No.
Feels like home.
Sorry. I didn't mean to wake you.
Have you seen my wife?
She left a few hours ago.
Is she coming back?
Not tonight.
She's coming back tomorrow?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, good. Am I okay?
What do you think I am, a fortune teller?
The epidural is fantastic. Now I know why women love these things so much. You know, I think I'm willing to have our next baby. Don't look so worried. I'm not pregnant. Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing, nothing. I can't believe Dr. Stein hasn't been in to see you yet, though.
But I, for one, am glad. He is a very evil man, Robin. Do you know what he did to me? He attacked me with a knife. Look, let me... Dr. Stein.
Good morning. This is Dr. Field, our intern on the ward.
Nice to meet you.
So how are you feeling today?
You want me to spill my guts?
Have you had a chance to explain anything about the operation yet?
I was waiting for you.
I apologize for taking so long to get to you. I'd like to ensure that all my patients are fully coherent before I discuss the treatment.
What treatment?
Sorry to tell you that the cyst we removed was a malignant tumor.
What does that mean?
Cancer. Now, we removed almost a third of your colon and several of your lymph nodes. Now, I believe we got it all, but colon cancer is quite serious. So I'm recommending a precautionary 6-month course of chemotherapy.
But I thought it was just a benign cyst.
Well, the biopsy indicated that the cyst was benign, but in fact the tumor was malignant. There was no way of telling this before we had the operation. However, we caught it early, so radiation treatment will not be necessary. Now, I know this isn't exactly what you wanted to hear, but...
Hey, I'm from Latin America, and this kind of thing happens all the time to my relatives. You know, they wake up in a bathtub full of ice, and a little note beside them says, you know, phone an ambulance, we've just removed your kidneys. But, you know, you guys didn't even leave a note.
Pedro, what are you doing?
No, I want to get out of here before they kidnap the whole family to harvest our vital organs.
Okay, lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Just relax.
Oh.
Just relax. It'll be fine. We'll get through this.
Mr. Suarez! Mr. Suarez, are you awake?
Yes, I am.
Good. Time for a walk?
That's okay. Why don't you two go without me?
Oh, no, you have to go for a walk.
I don't want to go for a walk.
He has to go for a walk? Yes. Here you go. There's your slippers.
All right. Oh, thanks. Coming down.
Good. Very good. You're up.
Ooh. Ooh.
Now hold on tight to your
Take your arm.
Good. Very good.
Ow.
Nice and steady.
Do you have my robe? Can you cover up
One
my...
step at a time. Very good. How's that?
Ow.
Steady.
Listen. Greetings, fellow Martian. Hey, any news from the home planet? Nice plasma. Hey, excuse me, why do you get 4 bags? I only got 2.
I pay taxes too, you know.
So, you don't have any family in Canada?
No. My wife died soon after we were married, so I moved to Canada to start a new life.
That's tough.
Yes, but if you believe in reincarnation, I might marry her again.
Tell me something, Jess. If they already operated on your pancreas, why are you still here?
The cancer spread to my digestive tract. They had to cut and paste, and I guess my body couldn't cope with the new layout.
Hey, Jess, did you ever think that maybe on some subconscious level, we are the cancer? I mean, that we brought it on ourselves or something?
Pedro, if I had that kind of control, I'd have a different model visiting me every day.
No.
Chicos, no jueguen con eso. Toma, toma esto.
Why don't you take these?
Thank you. Now, if anyone asks, I can say a beautiful woman gave them to me.
Thank you. You take care of yourself, okay?
Then we're off. Jess, it's been a gas, and I mean that from the bottom of my colon.
Pedro. Oh, it's been so good knowing you.
I'm coming back to visit, remember?
Chico, Mom, you got the bag?
Can you grab my purse?
The word cancer spreads more quickly than the disease. And it brings out the best and the worst in people.
Pedro.
Wendy, hi.
Oh, my God. I heard the news. I'm so sorry.
Wendy, it's okay.
To put the chemotherapy.
When? I start next week.
Oh, it's so unfair. You're such a good person. You're in the prime of your life.
Wendy, I'm still alive. Hey, Mark.
Pedro, hi. How are you?
I'm good. Are you working around here?
Yeah, I'm just doing some drywall at number 87 over there.
So, how are the kids?
Good, good. They're fine.
Mark, it's okay. I've heard the news.
The news? About what?
About my cancer?
I'm sorry, man.
And then they came, my family and my friends, and their cures.
Pedro, it's red clover tea. My naturopath swears by it. I know you've probably read all of these, but just in case.
Mami.
Padre? Mi hijo.
Dominos vobiscum tecum tu.
It's made from mushrooms from the Arizona desert.
Pedrito, the Navajo people has been using it for centuries.
I'm bringing you chicken soup. It's a cure-all.
These stones are from the sanctuary of the Virgin de la Caridad del Cobre, patron saint of Cuba. You hold them up against your body, then you rub them around your chest and your neck and your cheek. You let them fall all over your body.
I've got exactly what you need. Colombian. British Colombian. But still got the accent, you know what I mean.
They are monks that live in the Andes Mountains in Bolivia. You agree on a time, and then they astral project themselves to another planet, and they cure you.
Welcome back. Did you have a nice flight?
I'm sorry I can't go with you tomorrow.
Well, I know how you can make it up to me.
Pedro, careful, your stitches.
What? Are they tickling you?
No.
Sorry.
I didn't face cancer alone. I gained strength from family, friends and loved ones, from the nurses and surgeons, and most of all, from other people struggling with the disease. The care, concern, information, affection, and humor you share with your fellow patients and survivors creates a powerful web of support. Powerful, but delicate all the same, because at any moment, one of the strands can break. Shortly after mustard gas was used as a weapon on the battlefields of World War I, scientists developed chemotherapy. This medical Molotov cocktail is now on the front lines of a more relentless offensive. If cancer is your body declaring war against itself, chemotherapy is thermonuclear retaliation. There's an unbridged gap between Western medicine and our spiritual selves. I wanted to want alternative treatments, but but quickly realized I had more faith in numbers. And statistically speaking, chemo has the numbers on its side. But there's a high price to pay for choosing this route. When you treat the disease in this purely physical way, within the limited terms of the Western medical system, the soul can't help but feel neglected.
Steady. Come on. Oh, that's good. Give me my popsicle. I need my popsicle.
Want a cherry?
Oh, come on. I want a banana. Don't we have any more
We
banana?
don't have any bananas.
Yes, we have no bananas today.
Sometimes I felt as though my soul was punishing me for my lack of respect. Maybe some of those alternative treatments might have provided some comfort. But by the time I understood that, I was already dealing with questions that no doctor, priest, healer, cure, book, alien, or treatment could answer for me. The questions that I ask myself, only I can answer.
Come?
Thank you. Sugarless, please.
Well,
Hey.
this is your last treatment. So if everything's okay with your CAT scan, you can probably consider yourself cancer-free.
Footloose and cancer-free.
You know, we're all gonna miss you around here.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you, too. Tell you what. Maybe I'll take up smoking again. That way I can have cancer again.
Well, I didn't need the cigarettes because it didn't really go away. Somewhere along the line, I unwittingly entered into a contract with cancer, and now it's my lifelong creditor. Every so often, it's going to come after me for payment. A lymph node, a liver. In exchange for whatever body part it wants, I get to stay alive. More alive than I was before. Somehow, and I'm not sure exactly how, I owe my life to cancer. I wonder what part of me it wants this time.
cancer.